Hi guys, right, so today I'm going to be attempting to build a panic attack. And I'm using this thing which I found online, and it's not actually the ability to climb walls which makes it similar to panic attack. I like that the size, the kind of long, the sort of shape of it is quite panic attacky. It doesn't look like panic attack just because it's yellow, that's what I'm saying. It does have a mode which is just drive around, not necessarily on the fan, but the thing that really I like is, look at this. It's got like a transformy feature. But basically, I'm going to cut most of that away, but that's like a little lifter at the front, which is awesome. And it's got lights, which is always fun. Don't think panic attack at them, but hey, artistic license. Everyone likes shiny lights. So that's what we're going to be trying to do today. So I've got it apart, and to be honest, a lot of this sort of front stuff, which I was hoping to cut away, still needs to be in place because it's got little sort of toggle switches where certain stuff hits it and then it cuts the motor out, etc. for the lifter. So I could use that, I suppose, on another one, but my attention was more drawn to the huge motor in the middle, which drives the fan, because usually this sort of makes a little sort of thing to suction it onto a surface, which is how it drives on walls. And that fan, it's pretty mighty, to be honest. So I'm kind of more tempted to, I was thinking maybe full body spinner, but then it's quite long, so maybe it would have to be quite a large full body spinner. But I was thinking more move this to the front and then make a Hypnodisc possibly. It's a sort of the long thin shape of a Hypnodisc. So what I've done, I've gone on eBay and I've ordered the pit stop version of the toy, because it's got that really nice big disc in it, and hopefully some of the other panels as well might be able to be used around it. So yeah, that's the new plan for this. Nothing to do with panic attack at all. Okay, a week has passed and I've got this off eBay. It's a Hypnodisc pit stop set from back in the day, and it's got a lovely big disc, and also little parts like this could be quite useful just for actually just making the shape of Hypnodisc, because obviously it's easier just to use the pre-molded bits if they can fit. So yes, let's plow on with this build. Right, so we've got the motor out here, and I was planning to have it at this end because there's a lot of gubbins that end, but the wires are too short. So what I'm going to do is desolder these and then cut some new wires to extend the range so I can get it to the other end. Because yeah, and also, God, this is really getting. So this is the part that the little motor that drives the little wiggly bit that used to do the transformation stuff. But I'm hoping maybe I could use that for a self-writer high voice. Okay, so we can see I've soldered things on here. I've covered them in tape so they don't hit anything else and short out or anything like that. And then soldered them here at the motor. I've also noticed I've affixed a giant disc to the motor. Right, so if we do here, unfortunately the actual motor on here isn't remote control because it was the original fan. It's just simply the suck onto the wall mode as it was. So you just put it on and then it just starts straight away. But there we go, a little bit uneven, just chucked on line of sight, but didn't just turn off. There we go. But yeah, we'll see if that's anywhere near destructive. The only thing is, look how sort of rounded these little teeth are. They're not particularly destructive, but you know, going fast enough, we'll see what happens. Okay, right, we've got the disc on the front, which I've mounted slightly forward because with the motor and everything underneath it, it's too high. So I'm going to take some artistic license with this. I've also got a little piece of Lego I've cut down there, which I've stuck onto that little wiggly bit that used to do the transformy bit. We'll just see if that works. It might not work, it might work. Let's see. Then we've got a load of gubbins and wires just to sort of scrunch up, and then we're going to start attaching some side bits and sort of just making it look a bit neater. And also just hope that it still works, because obviously it was meant to defy gravity, so it was quite light before. This thing doesn't weigh anything. So yeah, we don't want to load it up with too much weight. Okay, it's all currently coming together okay. Obviously still, the bodywork's a bit like, kind of, I don't know, misshapen due to getting it around, because this thing's really weird. It's got a wheel here and a wheel here. Point properly. So yeah, I've had to sort of make a few decisions based on that, but the rest of it should be sort of trying to neatly box it up. And yeah, the the arm is sort of stuck on there. Again, it comes out at a mad angle, but it just about self-rights and does an angry little click because it's trying to go further. But yeah, okay, well that's doing a lot of drawing. I'm now getting to the stage I've usually got to a lot earlier in these sort of builds and making up a few sort of panels. And what I've done as well to try and get that non-slip aluminium surface look to match the sides. There we go. I've just coloured in this with a pencil quite heavily and then sort of tried to kind of print it on. It doesn't look perfect, but it's got a kind of that effect on there, so hopefully it will match up a bit more from a distance. Okay, so here it is finished. It's a bit of a weird shape. I'm not sure if I'm happy with it or not. You can see what it's meant to be anyway. And forgive this as drying in the upright position. It's fallen off a few times. Like I say, it was kind of a bonus if it did work, so we'll see. I put the wheels again from the pit stop one. I thought I'd cut them down and wedge them in so they're not actually on the ground. Just to give it that sort of Hypnodisc-y look. And yeah, it's going to be high off the ground, but yeah, the weight-wise, not a problem. It seems to dry fine, so let's get the arena down and give it a test drive. Okay, bad news. The motor for the actual spinner, it doesn't seem to have died. It seems very nice and smooth. But you switch it on and it gives one sort of ditch attempt at a pulse, one little spin, and then just stops really quickly. And also the actual, you can't drive it anywhere or anything either. But if you put it into the middle mode without the motor on, then it's fine. Which makes me think the motor's shorting out somewhere, so I'm kind of currently looking to see why that is. Okay, the problem seems to be one of capacitance, i.e. the capacitor for the motor is gone, so it goes whoa, and then just it needs that little kind of cushion just to sort of ease it up, whereas currently it's just like getting there and then instantly going, oh, no, too much, giving up. So it gives a kind of little rev and then it gives up. I could say it again. And so instead I've bought a butt ton of capacitors. I needed one, I've bought many hundreds. So let's solder one in and see if that fixes it. Well, this is very sad. I think it's dead. Yes, the motor goes incredibly hot. I think just the load of the disc was too much for it, and also, I don't know, I'm not liking the back of this. This is also getting very warm. So I think maybe I've just demanded a bit too much of it, which it seems odd because I've demanded a lot more from much smaller motors than this, but yeah, it runs up and then it just dies. It just can't cope, and the motor runs incredibly hot, which makes me think it's just burnt up inside and it's sort of just struggling each time, cooling down a little bit and then trying again. So I think this one might be a bit of a write-off actually, but oh well, we've got a tiny bit of test footage, so we can enjoy that. Okay, here it is. So yeah, I think it's important to keep the failures in here as well, just because it still shows a process and whatnot, and it's more realistic to show that I fail quite a lot of this. But I hope you still enjoyed watching it anyway, regardless. And there are some non-failures coming up, so that's always good to see. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and cheerio.